So hi everyone, today in this video I'm gonna develop what I will call that are like the best type of ways that you can use and adopt in your life to become a high performer type of person. And this is mainly by having the ability to learn. And to learn how? Learn faster. It's like what I would say that is most needed because nowadays we being surrounded by so much information, by so much data, by having the need to always be updated with new knowledge, is more important to get how to know instead of to get what to know. So you have to understand that you should now focus more in your methods than always trying to get grabbed but what you have learned in a past period in your life. So you should learn about models, think statements that you have learned. It's useful to understand fundamental principles. It's like one of the best ways to reasoning, but you have to understand that like the majority of the, I will not say the majority, but a lot of the what we can call that is something that's truth, it has a tendency to change unless you're talking about physics, which obviously we have some laws that are proved and they're right by scientific method. But a lot of things in your job, like the fast way to build a car, this is something that always going to update by the development of the technologies, and so you cannot be grabbed by what's the way that was the best in the past. You have to learn how to learn fast in what so are the new methods that by obviously with some type of logical reasoning seems and is approved as the fastest one, and is obviously something that it's gonna create comparative advantages in your day-to-day life because you're gonna be someone that always gonna be updated to the new knowledges that are like the most important ones if they're proved they're better than the previous ones. So now that I have exposed my argument for why you should pay attention to this video, now so we're gonna go for these 5 science-backed strategies to accelerate your learning. So the first one of the things that helps you to accelerate your learn is understanding what you have to learn, because if you really understand what you have to learn, what is essential to learn, you're not gonna pay and you're not gonna spend your time in things that are not useful. And this either comes with the ability to apply the Pareto law in your life. And what seems to talk the Pareto law? Pareto law says that just 20% of information that exists are like determinants to create so the 80% of the results that we have. And it's something that it comes with other laws that say that 90% of things are crap. And why this is useful? First, helps you to with your insight, because if you just have to focus from one of the small things that exists, it helps you because you become more efficient because you don't have to learn anything. And what are like this type of 20% of things that are important? This helps you if you get what's your type of objective. So imagine that I'm someone that will like have will like to know what is the best way to produce a car. I'm someone that is a owner of a company that produces car, and so obviously what comes my objective is coming from profit. What creates profit? Relation between the revenue that I got from selling a car and the cost. It's the positive differential. So what I have learning seems like that I apply Pareto principle, just two type or things that are like important is managing the receiving the revenue that I got and managing the costs. So already I have to focus in the things that influence these two things, and things that are not important to determine these two ones, as if someone has did something in social media, well, so I can think more critically and I don't give importance and spend time in searching for things that doesn't contribute to my challenge. And so it already helps me to just giving and grasping attention in just one small ton of things that are in reality essential and useful. And now, obviously, in that things, revenues, costs, essential fundamentals, what I can, and by being thinking critically, understanding the essential of the question, it helps you so to just look for the learning that is really essential. And so you're looking by how to make you sell more and how to make you produce more things that you're gonna so get objective to sell more at lower costs. Is this you put as a statement? Now it's easy. How you compare some type of method is better than other one to so produce less costs? It's just by comparing it. What is the one that has less costs? So it requires you to do. Now you're gonna have to do what? You're gonna have to do something that has to be has to, has to have the ability to get sold. And then so thinking critically you can understand, so you're gonna have to try to get learnings that comes with in this industry. So what seems that is essential to guarantee security, to guarantee velocity, but always at with the principle of a low cost, but as well having in count that we have to get the learning that is learning knowledge, that is what people praise, is the color of the car, is the how much or is the ability to reach till the point of velocity, or it's what is the type of number of seats that the client seems that they want. And then so it's knowledge, it's just small things that you have to got that are essential to determine the actions that are like your main objective. What you want to determine is if the people, what makes so the people making actions towards so making and creating revenue for you, what are the things that creates costs for you, and you so just manage the essential of what will be all the things that you could control. If things that have like suboptimal type of effects that you should not learn, like what is better for the productivity of someone, the how water that's cold or not probably doesn't have something that has effects. You have to think critically. Ask for the person that works for you if it makes any change in their performance if the water is cold or not. Make this question as the ability to think critically helps you to be someone that has the ability to learn faster. Have this in count. Thinking critically helps you to learn you faster, and this thinking critically already is so much developed if you do this thinking of looking for the essential of the question. Other thing that is useful: active learning and spaced repetition. And that's something that's important. Active learning and spaced repetition. Science backs that is one of the best ways. Now that we know what is essential to learn, what will be essential as well to make us learn faster, how to make us grasp as well the knowledge so faster. And so what seems that is the best way to grasp the knowledge faster? What's the best way to retain the knowledge that we got from exposition? And it seems that reviewing material at increasing intervals boosts retention. And so imagine that you want to learn that now that you have got that you want to understand what's the fastest way to do the car at low cost possible that people gonna buy it. Now you have to get the knowledge, so how to make it. And now that you've got the knowledge, you got exposed, you have done experiments, and you still understand that someone seems to be faster than other, how to grasp this knowledge, so when I'm gonna make the car, it's gonna be more easier or gonna be faster. And it seems that if you consume the material spacely instead of just learning the whole in a day and try to apply it, if you space, so if you learn some specific materials day to day, not just in one day, and imagine that you have learned how to make how to put the wheels the best way that so creates less costs, because the people gonna have to spend less to try to get the ability to make, if the wheel has any type of got spoiled in any type of crash, and so you put the car in a way that the people don't suffer with that, because it's not so much easy to get spoiled in the crash. Imagine that's the example. So now what you're going to do is that you learn this and you try to make a repetition of what you have learned in a day in the other ones, and doing this actively. So not reviewing the material, what material seems to say, is you actively trying to make it evocate what you have grasped from the learning. That's because it helps you, because you're doing a effort that your brain perceives, so that the information that you're trying to recall has some type of useful way that contributes for your life. And so your brain gonna make and gonna so put like gonna attach if just looking for an example that's not real, but it's like your brain puts a thing that makes a variance in comparison with other type of experiments, learnings that you've got, and that one that you try to actively recall is gonna have a less probability to get forgot because your brain perceives that you're trying to use it, and so it's gonna help you to do it. Now, other things. What's the best way? It's learn by doing it, and learn by doing it. What's the essential of that is that you're gonna have to understand that normally learn by doing it's like the thing that requires you to more effort. It's more easy like to understand that 2 more 2 are 4 just by viewing it. But if you are doing a math exercise and it requires you to do this calculation, you know what's gonna do. You're gonna see as well why it's useful to learn and not just knowing what is as well understanding what, but in a context that gives a meaning for that what being something that your brain has to make it something as useful and so retain for future examples. And so learn by doing it gives you the real feedback that makes your brain understand how useful is the learning that you have got, and that's so why it's so important to do this type of task as well. It's normally things that requires effort, things that show to your brain that information all that you have grasped is useful are things that so make him be better and is gonna so have the ability to make it something more in long term that's going to be used more times because you're going to retain in a better probability rate. Now, other things, leverage multisensory learning, combining different learning, reading, listening, watch, write, speaking. It's basically using all your senses, seems so that your brain, if you don't know, are like division by a lot of spaces that they are responsible for the different senses. And so which more of your brain you involve in your learning, better is going to be your probability to retain the information. So if you learn just something by viewing it, just using the sense of seeing it, but if you're using as well listening the material, if you use like active recall and you just talk for other ones, learn for other ones, a bit more difficult. But if you have probably doing for practical tasks, if you have the ability to doing it, you're evolving as well the sensory using your fingers. It's something that it's other sense of your body, and so that's why as well justifies how important it is the learn by doing it. So I expect this video has helped you to become a better learner, a faster learner, and see you in the next one.